people. In this video I'm going to be showcasing an incrementor and a decrementor, and there's actually two designs, one that just increments with normal signal strength, so 0 to 15, and another one that works with overloaded signal strengths, and I'll just showcase them both, so let's get straight into it. So let's start off with a simple one. Here's just a normal signal strength incrementer and decrementor. So what it does is, by default, the output would be nothing, 0, so signal strength is 0, and then you can increase that to 1 by pressing the slope block. It's now at 1, and then this other one is at 14. Press it again, that one's at 2, this one's at 13. So each time you activate it, it will increase by 1. And then you can use this one to decrease. Now it's down to 3, down to 2, and down to 1. So this is just a pretty simple system. The way that it works is, of course, well, in here the droppers are completely full, so the comparator is detecting signal strength 15, but you can see one of the comparators is also detecting, but it's on subtract mode, so 15 minus 15, that's 0, and then 15 minus 0, that's still 15. And then what it does is, when we activate it, so it would be this one right now, what it does is, for a split second before this repeater activates, this dropper will fire. It will send one item into there, so this comparator is no longer detecting 15, so this will switch down to 1 less than it currently is. So right now it's at 14, and that's at 1. So it's supposed to be sending out 15, but since that one is on 1, it's subtracting 1 from 15, so that's at 14. And then what happens is, it'll no longer be detecting a signal strength of 15 out of here, so it'll put this down by 1, which will let this go up by 1, and then it'll stay like that. So now you can see that one's at 2 and that one's at 13. So that's pretty much just how the system works, and once one of them goes all the way down to 0, you can actually switch which one's increment and which one's decrement. But anyways, it's a pretty cool system to have. You can just increase signal strength each time you activate it. But let's move on to the overloaded signal strength one, which is just up here. So this one, it's pretty much the same idea, but this one also has another function, which is reset, and you could also add that to that one. It's pretty simple. So what you can see here is, it's actually, this whole thing is dustless. That one uses a little bit of redstone dust, this one doesn't. So what's happening here is pretty much the same system. You can see one comparator is going into another with the same signal strength, not using dust, we're just using another comparator. And the reason for that is, we're using overloaded signal strength now, which means we can't have dust because that would put it back down to 15. So right now our output over here is 0, and what we can do is the increase over here, we can increase it by 1, and now it's at 3. Now why is it at 3 and not 1? Well, it's actually using stacked shulker boxes, which is, I have the carpet rule on right now from carpet mod, so carpet stackable shulker boxes, it makes it so that you can drop shulker boxes on the ground and they'll stack together. And right now I have 4 stacks and 1, and the reason that I'm using hoppers here and droppers down there is droppers are random, but down there it doesn't matter because the items are all the same and they're stackable. Up here it matters because shulkers with a carpet rule, they won't stack when they go back. So I just have 1 here, which will be going back and forth. So right now this hopper's locked, so it won't go anywhere. But once it unlocks for a split second, only 1 will go through, and then that's this one that's on its own, so it won't have to stack back together. So this one, it'll just always have 4 stacks to stack shulker boxes. And it's the same on both sides, so we can have incrementor and decrementor. So what happens when we click a note block is, it'll unlock the hopper, lets 1 go back and forth, and then this observer just detects the rail being unpowered, so it gets pushed back really quickly, and that's enough time for just 1 item to go back and forth. And then now you can see our signal strength is at 6. So what's really interesting about comparator overload, so let's use the /data get block and then those coordinates. So you can see right here, output signal is 6. Now that's you can see the redstone dust is also at 6, but what's kind of interesting, if we activate it again, you can see now it's at 9, that's now at 9. I can just use the same command. If I do it again, it's at 12, again, it's at 15. And if we do this, that comparator is also at 15, but what's kind of interesting is now it's at 18. The redstone dust locks, well, it always will max out at 15, but comparators will detect signal strength up to, I believe, 720. And we can use that here because stacked shulker boxes like this, they still count as non-stackable items, which is also why it increases by 3 each time, because non-stackable items will, well, they count as 3 signal strength. So the way that this works is this comparator, it's detecting this hopper, which has 257 stacked shulker boxes, and it's detecting 3 signal strength from each of them. And that means that it's getting 771 signal strength, but it maxes out at 720. So if we use /data get block that one, right now it's at 702 because this one's also detecting some, but if we reset it here, I'll show how that works in a bit. If we do the same command, it's at 720 even though it's detecting 771 signal strength from there. The way that the reset works is there's a comparator here that'll just go into that comparator, and we just push in a block which lets it detect a full dropper of these. Technically you would only really need 4 stacks and maybe 2. Actually no, you would need to have the signal strength increase. Actually no, because it is a non-stackable item, so you really would only need 4 stacks and 2 if I'm correct. Oops. I think I just... Okay, there. So it's a pretty cool system. So again, you just use this one to increase by 3 signal strength, and you can do that as many times as you want, up to 720 signal strength, and then that one to decrease. Now it's back down to 3, and the redstone dust will always max out at 15, but the comparators will send signal strengths up to 720, so you can send much more, well, information through comparators with this, and it could be implemented into some systems that use overloaded signal strength. Anyways, I just wanted to show that this contraption that I made. There will be a Lightmatic down in the description where you can download it for yourself, and, well, I guess with that, remember to like and subscribe. Let me know with a comment if you're going to use this or just what you thought of it overall. But with that, have a good day everyone, and goodbye.